Hey guys, happy Saturday. I wanted to take a few moments and talk to you guys about something. Let's talk about secrets. Um, Most people have them. Sometimes they're little, sometimes they're big, but sometimes they can mess you up. Um, because sometimes they creep in and that little voice starts to become a lot of little voices. And if you're like me, one thought creates almost a whole little city of thoughts. And it's like, oh, well, what if this happens? And if this happens, what if that happens because of this happens? And it turns into this whole thing. And it's like, well, crud. And then we don't sleep well and we get stressed out. And then whenever we're around the people that the secret is about, like if it's an attraction or if it's um, we we gossiped about someone or we took something from someone or we told someone we didn't do something because of a certain reason and that wasn't the truth or whatever the secret is, and it piles up and it piles up and it piles up and it just starts to eat at you and eat at you and eat at you. But the reality is, like, there's so much freedom in just getting the secret out. And if the secret's out, it doesn't have the power anymore. And I recently had a secret, and I was so afraid to tell the person. And it wasn't anything bad, and it wasn't anything like, oh my gosh, like if this person knows, the world's gonna come to an end. But that's what it felt like because it had been weighing on me for over a year. And it was something as silly as like I was attracted to someone and it was just weighing on me so much. And I knew the person wasn't going to be attracted back, and I knew like it wasn't going to go anywhere. Like there was no hope of it becoming anything or doing anything. I knew that. Like there was nothing that was going to come from it. But because I had kept it as a secret for so long, it was ruling my thought life. And it had taken root so deep inside me. And the reality is, God calls us to empty ourselves so that He can fill us. But if I wasn't willing to empty myself of this one thing, God couldn't have all of me. So, I had to become willing. And I have to tell you, it was the most gut wrenching, terrifying moment I had had in a long time. Because I had become good friends with this person. So, the truth came out. My world didn't end. But the problem is, secrets create a soul sickness within us. And soul sickness isn't something that can always be easily seen. It's not something that, like, always looks like, ooh, like, that person is sick. Look at them. No. Soul sickness can sometimes very easily be covered up and, like, masked and made to look like everything's okay, when in reality, everything is not okay. Like, someone may not be sleeping well, or they may not be eating, or they may, like, be, like, torturing themselves on the inside and having an existential crisis because God knows what's going to happen if everything comes clean. And you know what? The world doesn't end. And if you lose a relationship because you told the truth, okay, that relationship clearly wasn't meant to go on. I mean, and I'm not like telling you like go like tell people the very worst that you've ever done to them or about them, and like I'm not saying like that's not what I'm advocating for here, folks. What I'm saying is like tell someone. It was the best advice that I was given in this situation was you have to tell someone, because if you don't tell someone, like it's not going to get any better. So you have to tell someone. Especially if it's eaten your lunch. Like, if it has eaten you up inside, you have to tell someone. So, find that person that you feel the safest with. And, like, let them know. Like, the Bible calls for us to confess our sins so that we can be free. And I believe that goes for secrets. So, if you can do that, if you can confess and be free, why would you hold yourself back? Why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we needlessly punish ourselves for something when we've been offered freedom through the blood of Christ? And if it's something that you can tell the person and it creates for a better relationship and a better friendship, or whatever it is that you have, a better spouse relationship, a better employment relationship, or whatever, if it can create for a better relationship or a better understanding between people, why would we not do that? Why do we think that the only way to do life is to create a society where everything looks perfect, when we are imperfect people trying to figure out how to strive to live like the one who created us and to live after the model that he gave us, which is to love God and love others? And I think we do a disservice to each other by not loving others in a way that is authentic. Authenticity is key. And I don't mean authenticity as in being rude and disrespectful. I mean authenticity in a manner that is respectful, compassionate, loving, and kind. But sometimes compassion means speaking the truth. And the secret, to me, I'm learning, is a form of dishonesty. And I don't want to live a dishonest life anymore. So, what's the harm? What do you have to lose? I mean, really, what do you have to lose? Other than the bondage and the weight that you're carrying around with you. So, free. Be free.